about 6 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon, and this is my closing comment. It's video number 415, and if you like it, just hit that subscribe button. Okay, so today was a particularly tough day in the market. It started with Mr. Trump getting his tweet on and threatening to stop taking cotton from China and to blackball another Chinese chip maker. And nobody took that as good news, certainly. And we started on the downside and continued that way for most of the day, rallied a bit between noon and 3, and then sold off yet again into the close, with the Dow actually making a new low and closing down about 632 or 2.25%. What was interesting most of the day was that the Dow and the NASDAQ were down approximately the same amounts, which is quite a feat when you consider that the NASDAQ is roughly 1/3 the size. So the percentage change is 3 times bigger. NASDAQ finished down 465 or 4.1%. The S&P had a tough day, closing down 95 and change, 2.8%. The Russell got into the act, down 30 or 2%. And the least biggest loser was the Dow Jones Transports, down 145 or 1.29%. Internals were also weak. We were 3-1 down in the NYSE and just 2-1 down in the NASDAQ, but the downs there were gigantic again. The market also started with news of Nikola getting an investment from General Motors, and the two of them getting together to build the Nikola truck. The market absolutely loved that. I'm not crazy about it, but they loved it. Nikola closed 50 up 14.5. GM closed 32.38 up $2.38. Also, we had Disney get an upgrade and price increase for Deutsche Bank, and in today's down market closed 134.20, and that was up 221. We also had, after the close, a couple of earnings reports. Lululemon, which beat on the top and bottom line, but traded down. Last I saw was trading 349.80, down about 11.60. And one of my old favorites that we sold about a week and a half ago, Slack, which is a work from anywhere kind of platform. The symbol is WORK. It had closed at 29.32, up a quarter, and when they beat top and bottom, that was great. But billings, they didn't report billings. No guidance there. They stopped doing that last month. There were people who were hoping that maybe they reinstitute it. They didn't. The stock is down right now about 16%, down at 24, down $5.32 from the New York regular hours close. Also, we had consumer credit today. Consumer credit was an increase of 12.3 billion versus an expected 12, so that's not too bad. But last month's 8.9 was revised up 20% to 11.4. I just don't understand how you could be 20% off on this kind of a thing. I mean, you put together the materials and the information, and you put it out. If it's not ready, you don't put it out. In any event, tomorrow morning we have the JOLTS, which is the job openings, and we also have mortgage applications. So we'll see how those things turn out. The chart on the screen here is the dollar. And as I've been telling you for the last couple of days, we have this lower low closing on the high. It looked like we were headed higher. We sat across here for a couple of days, slightly higher, slightly lower, and then today we had this. Now, as you can see, we are between the 5 and the 20-day, about to cross to the upside. We almost crossed it here, and unfortunately, we headed back down lower. But this looks like we're going to cross it if we just opened unchanged. I mean, the move here was really spectacular. We were up 72 cents, so 7.8% on this, 0.78, I'm sorry. But, if you want to take a look at where we've been and what we've been seeing, we've been on a pretty steep decline. I'm going to guess that if I extend this, we're going to go right through here. Let's see if I can do that. Looks about right. So we're right there, just coming through and closing on the high. The other markets that were particularly soft were the energies. I'm sorry, the energy stocks were really soft because the oil was down over $3, which is a pretty substantial move there too. We have rolled over here. I think in my weekly comment, I mentioned that, and last week in a couple of the daily notes, I mentioned that we've closed this gap that we left on the downside, broke up into it, and have been unable to continue higher. When they don't go higher, sometimes they just get tired of them and they sell them. Also, as I've mentioned, the use for the products has declined. Summer driving season is over. It's still too warm to be concerned about heating oil. Jet fuel is not in high demand since most are operating about 15% of their flights. And so when the distillates don't have any real demand, it comes back right here to the crude. I'm looking for it to go a little lower. I've been talking about 35 and a half, 36. We're there at 36 and 3/4. So, down here, a little closer through the 100-day, and then maybe popping back up would be what I'd like to see there. What I was pleased about today was the gold, which was down hard this morning and came back nicely. As we were discussing, and I put out during the middle of the day, the gold started lower, ran right into the 50-day, turned up, and closed up on the day, on the high of the day. Right now it's down about $5 in the evening session. And what I'm looking at here is a nice little flag if we continue to come out. These two highs at 1956.60 for Friday and for Thursday, an exact two highs. If we can get through there, I think we can test 2000 and probably work our way higher. Okay, everyone, thanks for your attention. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I'll be back in the morning.